Hello, everybody. This is Youth Ambassador Zylet Nelum reporting to you from Build, and I want to welcome you to a very special interview with Miss Audrey Wright. Hello, Audrey. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So before we get started with the questions, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, absolutely. So, my name is Andriana Wright, but people call me Audrey. I graduated from Northern Illinois University in December with a Bachelor of Science in Public Health with an emphasis in health promotion. I am currently the program coordinator for MAPS Corps. We're a 501c3 nonprofit based out of Chicago South Side and grew out of the South Side Health and Vitality Studies, led by the research laboratory of Stacy Lindow at the University of Chicago. So our mission is to train youth to produce high quality data about community assets that everyone can use to improve the human condition.
That's
That's
great.
Thank you.
So since you seem to be very knowledgeable and in just in tune with the world of science, and I'm guessing biology and immunology, um, you can give us a little more insight on the vaccine and COVID and all this craziness happening in the pandemic. So I just had a few questions for you. And first, I'd like to start off with what exactly is a vaccine? I feel like people kind of, don't really have a true definition of it. Can you explain what exactly is a vaccine?
Absolutely. So vaccines are injections, pretty much shots, liquids, pills, or nasal sprays that pretty much train your immune system to recognize and fight harmful pathogens. And they also teach your immune system how to create antibodies that protect you from those diseases. So, just a few to name that we have. There's the human papillomavirus vaccine. We have shingles vaccine, smallpox, measles, hepatitis A and B are all vaccines that are designed to fight off the harmful pathogens of the actual disease.
Okay, that's making sense to me now. Um, so now that I understand what a vaccine is, I know that sometimes people have side effects. So, and a lot of people, that's what people get nervous about, especially with like new vaccines. And that's one of the big hot issues now. So
Right.
can you explain why it is that we have side effects and if sometimes they are, as dangerous as people think they are?
So we have side effects just because, realistically, we're injecting a foreign object or a foreign medicine or antibody into our systems that we probably never came in contact with before. So, of course, our immune system is doing all that it can to make sure that it fights off the pretty much the disease or the foreign object of whatever is in your system. And, most people don't have serious side effects from vaccines. The most common side effects are probably soreness where the shot was given. When I got my vaccine for COVID, my arm was a little numb just for a couple of days, but nothing too nothing too serious to where it was like, oh, I need to go to the doctor. And they're usually mild and they go away on their own pretty much. And other side effects could be, just pain, swelling, redness where the shot was given, mild fever, chills, fatigued. You could get headaches, muscle and joint aches. Those are a few side effects. But if you have anything as far as bleeding or things of where you feel lethargic or you just don't feel like yourself, then those are serious. But normally it's a few cases, of course, but nothing too drastic to where it's like, okay, this is something that's out of control.
Okay. Yeah, I had a similar experience and I wasn't as, nervous about it, but just like mild pain in your arms and just, like you feel a little sickness, but like you said, it's a foreign body coming in. So your body's just like, oh, this is new. Let's, tackle this. So it makes sense. It's not necessarily, a cause for concern. So that's nice to know. On the other hand, when it comes to COVID-19, specifically with the vaccine, a lot of people tend to think that they're injecting you with the actual virus itself. Um, is that true?
So no, it's not. Neither the Moderna, Pfizer, or Johnson and Johnson, I think it's AstraZeneca and Janssen, none of those vaccines contain live viruses. Each of them contain a single gene from the virus that causes COVID-19. So it's not COVID-19. Nobody is actually injecting you with the specific object, the foreign object.
Okay, very good to know. Um, Now, with the most recent updates up to date when we're having this interview, a lot of talk is going around about the Omicron variant.
Okay.
So, as to the best of your knowledge, what makes Omicron so different than other strands, and is it really a cause for concern?
So, because the Omicron variant has more mutations than any other COVID-19, it spreads faster than other strains. So, that's really one of the top main concerns of Omicron. There's been some evidence that shows that people who have caught Omicron have had fewer problems as far as like with taste and smell, but it's less likely to induce serious illnesses as far as pneumonia or hospitalization. So, that's pretty much how Omicron is really different from the other ones.
Hmm. Okay. And just a side question to that, would you say there's kind of been like a kind of misalignment with what the news is reporting? It's like you can't, would you say like it's not good to jump on every single report of a new variant? It's kind of just like wait and see kind of situation is like, is that the best way to go about it?
I would definitely say just stay posted with current information that's being put out, but with resources and COVID-19 has just been so unpredictable. You never really know how far left it can go. COVID-19 probably won't be as worse or might not be as worse initially of how they made it seem, but I would honestly say just do your research and just take your time because even with Omicron, with COVID-19, there was a lot of misinformation and a lot of just assumptions, going around. So a lot of people, it struck fear into them and it made them a little bit uncertain on whether or not they should be able to get the vaccine or not. But I would say just pay attention to the credible sources. A lot
Mhm.
of people just scroll and look at articles online and they say, oh, Omicron is X, Y, and Z, but it really couldn't be because it's not from a credible source. So where are they pulling the information from? So it definitely is good to just still be aware of what's going on, but also, like you said, just let it play out because we don't know. It could change at any moment.
Mhm. Yeah, that's excellent advice. So going back to what you said about not being sure if one should get the vaccine because of, misinformation, there's a lot of just assumptions on someone like me, like someone who's like around like 21, just or teenagers, adolescents in general don't feel like they have to get the vaccine because, I'm young and healthy. Why do I still need it? So, yeah, would you say like are they justified in that? Do young people still need to get the vaccine?
In my opinion, I feel like everyone should get the vaccine. To each his own. But honestly, in my opinion, since you're asking, I do feel like everyone should get the vaccine. Even if you are young or don't have any chronic health concerns, you should still get the vaccine because, like I said, the effects of it are unpredictable. We got people who have seen flu-like symptoms from a cough, but then they die. That's a really big stretch. That's too drastic to even, play around with or want to just second guess. So even according to the CDC, while many people with COVID-19 have minor sicknesses, some people with COVID-19 become severely sick. You might even die in extreme cases. So you really never know. I do feel like getting vaccinated is the best way to go.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, Another kind of scenario that people kind of question getting the vaccine on is if I already have COVID, does that mean the vaccine won't work for me anymore?
The vaccine actually does work. I've known people, actually, my best friend got COVID twice and he was unvaxxed. And he ended up getting vaxxed just because you just don't know, even though his symptoms were the same the third time, you just never know. So even if you already have COVID, do you still need to get vaxxed? Yes. Because getting vaccinated when you already have it significantly enhances your immune protection and it furthers your risk from reinfection. So
Got it, got it. Um, so continuing off of that, also in the case, say this person does actually get the vaccine, but if they only get one round of Moderna or Pfizer and like they don't get boosters, they don't get their second shot, do they still have pretty good protection?
no, absolutely not. So Johnson and Johnson's vaccine requires one dose. Moderna and Pfizer requires two doses. So the first dose is to help your body create an immune response, and the second dose is a booster that strengthens your immunity to the virus. So the first one is like, hey, I'm here, I'm doing my job, making sure it's not in your system, and the third one is further reinforcement. So you won't be protected if you have one shot. So,
Mhm.
and it's just best to follow protocol of what they're giving. So if it requires for whichever choice you choose as far as shots to take two, take two. If you want to do the Johnson and Johnson and you want just one dose, then I recommend you take that one.
Mhm. Mhm. And lastly, I just want to ask, this one I feel there was a lot of controversy last summer when the CDC said it was okay for fully vaxxed people to not wear their mask. Would you say that's still advice to go by, or should we all still just be more cautious?
I would always say just be cautious, but February 28th, Government JB Prisker, he just said Wednesday, I believe, that indoor mask mandates will end for most public settings. So you're not required to wear it in grocery stores, restaurants, and other gathering points, but they're still required in hospitals, on mass transit, and some other settings in vulnerable residents. So I would say, depending on the setting that you're in, of course, follow the law. But if you want to be safe, I would just say wear the mask. There are a lot of people who just don't want to take any extra chances, which is understandable. So they might keep their mask on regardless to if they're in the grocery store or not. So currently, as of now, yes, for Illinois, you still are supposed to wear your mask, but after February 28th, they lessened the indoor mask mandate. So
Mhm. Wow, yeah, this a lot of crazy changes going on in the world, but just doing the best that we can to be informed. And thanks to you now, I definitely learned a lot from this, and I just think having people like you taking the time to share your insight and your expertise is really helping to pull along in this process. So thank you so much for your time and for answering all these questions.
you're so welcome. Thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me get the chance to talk and educate you on the vaccine.